how CLG actually pulls off this bot lane 2v2. You know, oftentimes people are looking for kind of these poke supports, or if they're going to go with an all-in support with like Pyke, they pair it with like a Draven or a Lucian, something that's really strongly all-in. They kind of have a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. You know, Sivir is generally, you know, you would dominate this lane by pushing them in and just poking them out.
Yeah.
But if you push the Sona, Tahm, Kench in under the turret non-stop, well, what is Pyke supposed to do in that lane, right? So then maybe the idea is push them in and then have Pyke roam and affect them out elsewhere.
I like it.
But, you know, I'm going to be really curious to see what they want to actually do. What is the game plan in this 2v2? Because if you just AFK push in the lane and then back off and wait for the minions to come out, well, Vulcan and Cody Sun are probably going to be able to farm just fine.
Quite a bit of crowd control as well once you get Wiggily and Biofrost together, once that roam does get going. We'll see how the lanes start off. Just a bit of damage going over to Wiggily. He'll be fine. Nick's actually going to back. He's like, I need that health for the jungle, please. Conqueror for him.
Yeah.
Zula can do the big hits as they get into the longer fights.
Yeah, this is actually really interesting. You can see how all these aggressive wards, you know, already having been dropped down. You know, CLG warding here, and likewise, aggressive wards on the top side came out from Clutch. So Clutch is actually trying to start on CLG's red buff, but they get spotted. So they're going to have to bail out very likely here. And that's going to mean Lira is going to have to start a leashless blue buff, which is really not where you want to be as the Graves. He will be behind the pace, and you know, Graves really generally wants to get that red buff going first. It does help, you know, quite a bit with your early game power.
It's a good thing you can stay healthy. Just takes a little longer.
And I mean, he started E, right? Because he had to actually slide over the wall as well. So, you know, is fine.
That's a great
point. He's going to be clearing this out just okay, of course. But certainly they were trying to go for a bit of an aggressive early game play and try to put the Graves ahead of the Jarvan. You know, being ahead on Graves is actually extremely important because most of the power on Graves, yes, you can pull off ganks, but his ganking is not his strength.
Right.
Most of where his power comes from is if you can outpace the opposing jungler, then you can really start to invade and steal away his camps nonstop.
Yep.
If you are actually in danger of losing that 1v1, though, you don't get to just go in their face and take all their camps, right? Like, you may just be inting it. So we'll see if he can kind of get to that stage and how he's going to play it out.
You're talking about the pace already. Wiggly's been able to traverse to the other side of the jungle and get three of the same side had to be cleared by Lira, so he's looking for that second buff for himself. Keeping up. Just a bit behind on his buffs to grab. Wolves for Wiggily. We may see them after Raptors. Damonte against PowerOfEvil in the mid lane. That Syndra versus LeBlanc matchup. Should go pretty evenly back and forth until we get a little jungle intervention here.
Yeah, Wiggily now making a bit of an aggressive move over towards the mid lane. You know, looking to try to set up here on Damonte. Nice gank. You get the flash out. You know, that was very easily done. He got a 3-camp clear on bot side. Has already taken his red buff, so now he can go up towards the top scuttle and then retreat back in towards his Raptors and Krugs. So this is a very efficient path here from Wiggily, and being able to get the flash in addition to that is going to feel really good. You know, Lira during that time did clear 1 additional camp. He's already taken down 5, you know, plus he will be grabbing the scuttle here, and he can look towards that bottom side as CLG do have no wards, so they're going to have to be aware of where this jungler could be. Now, this is certainly an obvious gank timing here for CLG, but CLG are way far up.
Stixxay might have to fight for himself here. Biofrost is going to look to go invis, get the stun, and yeah, that is the flash for Stixxay. Bio's able to just dip out, but nice pressure from Lira and the team. Get that flash.
Yeah, really good job, actually, you know, being able to grab that flash, but I do think that CLG should have known that Lira could have been down there.
Yeah.
Your jungler just took the top side scuttle. You know, where do you think Graves is really going to be, right? They saw that J4 walk through mid lane towards that top side. You know he's going to be on that scuttle, so you know, 9 times out of 10, I feel like the Graves is trading scuttle and should be in that bottom side river. So CLG not dropping the ward will have to pay that tax with their flash. And thus far, bottom lane farm actually fairly even. You can kind of add these two together to kind of see where it's at. So with that flash off Sivir, it gets even harder for Stixxay to play aggressive. But this is the plan that was kind of a little bit expected. Biofrost going in.
The flash. Oh, he gets the immediate stun. They're not going to be able to stop that one. Damonte looks like he's going down, but did they finish the damage? Nobody hit him enough, and he's going to stay alive.
That was insane. How did he survive? He didn't even have flash. Are you kidding me? In a 1v3, he does survive. That is so big.
That was the ultimate handoff problem for CLG there.
Yeah, and Huni now overheated, taking a bad trade there, but that looked like it was going to be a perfect engage. I mean, you had the stun over the wall from Biofrost. The follow-up was there from Wiggily, but yeah, we'll have to watch that one again. I'm not sure if it was just everyone trying to donate the kill to PowerOfEvil, but let's watch this one more time. In with the flash stun, the knock-up, and do they just back up? No, I mean, he's still hitting him. Yeah, it was just actually a really great scatter of the week. Biofrost maybe could have gone in for one more auto and finished it, but I think at that point it was hard to know if Biofrost thought that PowerOfEvil would have finished it off, or if he just didn't think he could stay in range.
It was a great choice. Wiggily would have been the trade too. If he stayed, he couldn't tank anymore, so it just played out. Damonte.
That was a great scatter of the week.
Himself alive.
Yeah, hitting 2 members there. So Damonte,
yeah,
you're gonna be feeling so good about that. If you got both summoners off of Biofrost in a 1v3 and survive, like that is a massive swing.
Beautiful stun too to make the play stun.
Yeah, and I mean down here on the bottom side, the farm is almost even, right? It's 35 CS on a Tahm Kench, the 41 on Sivir. Very often you're expecting in the early phases these sort of lanes to get dominated, and this was kind of the question I brought up in Champ Select is how do you punish this lane? You know, with Sivir who wants the AFK push, and with Pyke who wants all in, those are kind of two opposed things.
Yep.
So the answer for CLG was push in, then roam. But if you then fail your roam, well, guess what? Now you're giving up all of that pressure on the bottom side. And now it's Damonte up to this top side here. They're looking for a dive, 3-man on Ruin.
Throwing down some orbs to get that unleashed power to be a little bit more. Maybe one more Q and then the hit. He's looking to unleash it. There it is. Is it enough damage? No, Ruin keeps himself alive, but the end of the line coming from Lira locks it down.
Yeah, not the cleanest of dives as the equalizer. I don't even think got one tick.
A little water in the nose.
Yeah, a little bit of a poor equalizer there, but they do get the kill. It costs the flash out of Lira. At the same time, traded for that dragon, which is going to be so nice, getting that early pre-7-minute Ocean Dragon. Here is that equalizer, and credit to Ruin actually using Q to jump away from the equalizer, hits the knockback on the Huni. Huni taking as many shots as he can, but then has to back out, and it does cost Lira his flash. But still, they execute the dive in the 3v1 where CLG did fail. But CLG will be happy about this Ocean Dragon, you know, not only to kind of have that additional laning power for yourselves, but denying that from Sona is actually critically important because Sona really does become, in the late game, this walking fountain who's just non-stop healing your team up and speeding your team up. So you definitely want to keep any sort of additional regen away from her.
At least it's not first Soraka. The mobile mana battery and healing.
The Star Call?
Like a fuel station that just goes around. Oh, you need mana? You need help? There you go. Great plays all around. Like we said, a bit of a botch dive. It did work out as they got ruined, but that was a flash for Lira. We'll see if that affects him at all as he goes for more ganks on the map. He's tried to stay present. He's been to the bot lane. Great job getting a flash out of Stixxay and Biofrost to start with hardly any crowd control to that gank. So they're making it work with a team that's rather hard to make those ganks work with.
Interesting as well, seeing Cody Sun. Cody Sun actually picks up a tier before upgrading his Frostfang, so this is very much looking towards the late game. Now, the only kind of problem here is that generally you want the Sona to be your farmer. You're waiting until Sona cashes in, rather, and converts that Sightstone, right? But if you do not upgrade to the Frostfang, you're getting so much less gold generation, so you're actually completing your Sightstone a lot longer, and thus pushing back the timer on when Sona can start farming. You know, this isn't necessarily a mistake, but it's a trade-off, right? Because Tahm Kench is going to get additional farm and be more powerful as a result. The Sona will take longer to get online, though. So, you know, when you're looking towards the Lich Bane and these later stage items, those are going to come in a couple minutes later.
Yep. Finding the pink wards that CLG placed on that bottom side of the jungle, you can see CLG has now littered their side with a bunch of vision to make sure there's no roaming from Biofrost happening throughout that area. Looks like Clutch Gaming will now start to pick up a little bit more of the resources around the map to make sure they can get the next objectives.
It's actually kind of crazy, you know, Tahm Kench with the support gold generation plus all his CS. You know, he has more gold than Jayce, right? Like, this is actually, I think, the most farm I have seen this type of Sona plus Taric or Tahm Kench lane get. You know, they're actually up in, well, I mean, it's about tied, right? You know, but they're up in gold in the 2v2, but the Tahm Kench basically has as much gold as the Sivir and more than some of the solo laners. So this is actually pretty crazy.
That's the kind of thing is tied is really great.
Yeah, I mean, it's insanely good. Oftentimes you're doubled in farm, you know, at the early stages. And this is going to mean that Tahm Kench is way more tanky than expected. I'm going to be interested to see where Vulcan decides to spend that gold, because usually you don't have the luxury of getting additional items, you know. Is he going to go for an early Knight's Vow, or will he look for something, you know, a little bit more kind of personal power, as you might see a top lane tank take, right? You know, you could go for something like an Abyssal if you want to go that route. But it is CLG looking to set up a 4-man play here on the bottom side. Look, oh, the Devour got used too. This is actually so good.
Level 7 there. He hasn't even able to use that crescendo. He gets knocked down before he can even make a sound. Vulcan's going to be the next one. Great help is out. Biofrost will fall. They able to trade one back. Kill assist to the kill and assists. And now Vulcan, it's only going to be so long. That one's an in and out from PowerOfEvil as he makes a little magic happen in the bot lane.
Yeah, Vulcan probably should have taken that death with the flash and, save that flash for next time. But still, a really nice dive there from CLG. They do lose one in the exchange, but that was so well timed. As soon as you saw that Devour had already been used on Cody Sun, you know that they are screwed because there's no way out there for Cody. Also really interesting to note that it is actually a tier Jayce on the top side. I can't even remember the last time I've seen this in competitive play. It's almost always now the rush for early power, longsword stacking. This is a very powerful later stage build, but again, it's going to take longer to get online. And here this is one more time. Devour already used. Look at that. EQ flash perfectly done there from Wiggily. The Pyke dunk comes in right after, but the great health was on point from Vulcan, absorbing so much of that damage, keeping himself alive, and does allow him to trade back one kill.
Here's more roam coming from Biofrost. He actually came from the top side of the map now, and he's going to be in mid, just getting that move on. Mobility boots right away, obviously, so he can keep himself going, and the ult's going to be up very soon again if they really want to put that to the test.
Yeah, I'd like to see that quite a bit, but yeah, we'll see if Ruin is going to actually hard commit to a split push style. Generally speaking, that's what tier used to indicate. It can be more about having the additional mana for poke, but oftentimes you just want to go lethality, especially when you already have an Ocean Dragon. It's interesting that you feel that you need that much mana. And when you do actually stack that tier, you have your more mana, you are going to have a lot of additional kind of damage on your auto attack. So curious to see how he decides to play it.
Good in and out, keeping Biofrost safe. His flash is actually back up from the last engage. Lira getting hit up. Ooh, collateral damage. Wasted out down the channel back to the Raptors there, so they will be waiting on that ultimate. But I like what CLG's doing. They're using his roam potential to start kind of picking at Clutch Gaming. Very close for Ruin going down there as Huni gets the damage on, and a little overzealous coming in. PowerOfEvil gets caught out as he roams into his own jungle.
Yeah, Damonte taken down there, does get dunked by the J4 and Pyke. Nice catch.
Words.
Yeah, from them. It's looking like another dive here coming down on Ruin.
Oh, he can only live for so long after so many dives. No tether on the last shot, and they are going to lose Ruin. Finally, he's absorbed so much, but taken down twice. But that's what we said about this player. He can always bounce back. Clutch Gaming is looking to get more kills across the map, though. They're feeling like this is their time to turn up the pace. They are going to lose a Drake, but they're finding some of the kills that are going to help them out.
Yeah, Cody Sun not able to connect in the ultimate. Still no Frostfang upgrade, so very interesting. Different style of build here, and it is actually going to be the redemption rush for Tahm Kench, so he is still going for that supporty style. You can also see, as a result, Ruin going for the scaling build. Tier does not give you combat power, right? So the all-in is going to be that much stronger for Huni, and as a result, Huni, is kind of running this lane perhaps more heavily than he would have otherwise. So definitely interesting to see the back and forth happening here. Huni camped out on this pink ward. He has his heat very, very high, so he gets his overheat right away. And if the additional damage coming out gets the auto in, has him low on that trade, then is going to push in. Knows he has the equalizer available, so looking for it. Has the ability, drops the equalizer, getting just about a tick or two, but really cutting off any potential chance of a retreat from Ruin.
Like it. First Herald used towards mid lane, and good pressure from Clutch here. We see that Huni-Lira duo back into the mix and make things happen on the top side of the map. Huni 1-0-1, Lira 1-0-0.
Yeah, Lira going to be fairly strong already, picking up a couple of those long swords. Interested to see where he's going to go with this, if it will be towards something along the lines of, Warrior Ghostblade, that sort of style of build, or if he's going more like Death Dance and kind of pseudo-tanky style of builds. Definitely are a number of different options you can look towards with Graves, but when you do go that kind of pure squishy style, it can be pretty tough to pull off sometimes, especially against the likes of this LeBlanc and champions along those sort of style that can burst you down.
Good invade. They have the vision to do it. They have a few pink boards as well to bring along with them, make sure everything is safe in this instance. Bit of a rotation here from the bot lane. Cody Sun and Vulcan are coming up through that mid area, but it looks like with power and numbers, CLG makes it out safe, and they do a little resource denial on the side of Clutch.
Yeah, nice to see the roam made there from them. They pushed out bottom lane, moving up towards that top side. You know, they had already lost the rift, but they are going to be able to take away the blue buff and feeling pretty good about that. Clutch up 2 turret plates, and that really is the rift advantage that they kind of had dropped down. So fairly even in that regard. Slight gold lead here for Clutch, but the 2 dragons on the side of CLG basically puts us, I would say, at a dead even game. Like, nope.
And he's like, I smell danger. I'm not going out there. There are not enough people on the map to make me do so.
Yeah, and look at his teammates. His teammates are very far away, so...
Never cross the river without a ward. Rule of thumb.
This is one of those situations where you pretty much just want to equalize the wave and run away. And that's what he's trying to look to get in position for. So, yep, equalizer down on the wave.
Beautiful.
Run away. And that is going to be enough to keep the turret alive for now. While your team is actually shoving on the bottom side, there's not going to be any sort of denial for this turret. So Clutch going to be able to grab another turret here first, very, very likely. CLG still 5-man strong on that top side.
They're toying with Huni. They were able to keep him there as Ruin stepped in with a shock blast, and Huni stayed a little too long, and greed gets the best of him.
Yeah, that's one of those situations that can be so frustrating as a top laner. I mean, you're in the bush between the turrets. Your tier 1 is still alive.
I think they're finally gone now. Wait, I think they're gone.
Yeah. That's
never
definitely
gone.
happened to me a number of times where you're like, you're still here? Come on.
And he's still there. They finally take the turret down. So Huni will be back up in 7 seconds. We'll see he will rotate himself if he does put the pressure on the bottom side of the map with TP up. Lira to now steal away the blue. They say, thank you very much. You stole ours, but it's going to be a little bit trickier. Damonte has to flash out of the stun. Great scout of the week back, and here we go. The Abyssal Voyage is going to bring in Cody Sun and Vulcan. Stixxay gets out with a very nice spell.
Here's Huni.
And Huni wants the retribution for those last kills. Starts cooking him up as Vulcan picks up the first kill with the retribution called down from the sky.
Yeah, Huni TP's in. If he had the equalizer, I probably would have seen a couple more die from the side of CLG. So lucky for them that the cooldown wasn't quite up. And now they're looking for Huni, but Lyra's still here, and so is Vulcan.
Gotta be fancy feet. Lyra's like, I'll fight on this fire. Let's go. Everybody backs off for now. And defense for CLG here, as it looks like Clutch Gaming has kind of turned this game on its head for a quick second.
Yeah, certainly have. A really nice TP play. Collapsing down. They're hunting for PowerOfEvil. Don't think they're going to find him as the base does finish there, but still a nice move from Clutch, and they're actually, you know, looking pretty good these last couple of weeks. It seems like the league has just gotten so much more competitive overall.
Yep.
You know, this split, we have been seeing so many teams battling very, very closely and really fighting at the top of the table, and it's making it, you know, so hard to predict a lot of these outcomes and a lot of these games, and it's really resulting in some very exciting setups.
And you never know when that's going to happen and what kind of the causations are for it. You say, yeah, everybody's playing against each other, so you kind of figure out the way you want to play, or 2, the teams are starting to gel a little bit better as you started swapping in and out players from different teams. So as all of those start to level out, I love seeing the competition get that much closer in the middle part. I mean, week 5 of the season, what more could we expect here? 31.1 to 29.8, a very close game and a very big Huni in the bot lane, but Ruin still wants it. They're going to 2v1. Wiggily goes in with the flag and drag with a nice flash, and that pressure is probably going to push Huni off the turret. There should be another drop here in turrets for CLG, and they can start to move around the map with that pressure a little bit more.
Yeah, again, Huni just barely didn't have the equalizer up. Otherwise, that could have been a retaliation kill, so equalizer comes up. He will look to through this wave. That cannon, though, should give Ruin the time he needs. Oh, hesitated.
I say, be careful there. Huni could 2v1 turn that around. It gets scary against the Rumble. Ruin's out following him like a camera's going to get killed or something like that. Tricking me. 19 minutes, which means a minute on to Baron. Damonte now top as they try to get a few of these lanes pushed with kind of at least amount of power, where they don't lose too much on the map, but they can have Damonte playing safely, cover him. Watch out for Lira and Cody Sun and Vulcan. PowerOfEvil wants in and out just to deter them. I don't think there's any activation here, even if Wiggily is on that side.
Yep, and it's actually going to be a Maud Malmortius rush here for Lira, so that certainly will help him out a lot against PowerOfEvil, but against everyone else, he's going to be very, very squishy, because that is all physical damage across the rest of the map, and he's building no HP. You know, it's just that pure magic damage shield, so it certainly will be, you know, a lot tankier against PoE, but I wonder if another item might have kind of given them more general power, you know, something along the lines of a PD. That shield can be really helpful against some of these other members, or even a Death Stance for that additional tankiness. We will see, though, if this is going to pay off for him as... Okay, no, he's actually going back towards perhaps a Ghost Blade or a Dust Blade now, and Rune will eventually pick up that bottom lane turret.
You always wonder what's going on in their head. What are they buying? What coupons do they have? Never know. We'll have to see if his build can get there any faster with a few kills, maybe a few objectives here. Get Clutch in that better position. Stacks on your ruined Jayce, 617 out of 750. He's going to be pretty big soon, and then the team can switch that style of play a bit. Like you said, split push, but he can also get some nice blasts in if they do start going for that top objective of Baron.
Yeah, and Cody Sun now finally picking up that Frost Fang.
It was so long.
Yeah, I mean, that's a post 20-minute Frost Fang.
So long.
So he does have that Sight Zone now. It did actually complete about 17 minutes, so a couple minutes ago, but just electing to upgrade it now. Certainly has, I think, pushed back where he would be as far as his total gold income. But as a result, the bright side of that is Seraph's is already completed, so he's going to be a lot tankier in that regard, and certainly will be harder to burst down as long as he's good with that Seraph's activation.
Gotta be quick. Can't do the 5-finger fumble Rooski if you are in a fight. 4-4, 21 minutes in. No mistakes can be made right now, if you will. And we have all the second-tier outer turrets standing. Nobody's really been able to have the vision to get pushed up that far. It kind of tells you the pace of the game, what the teams can protect and what they can't protect by way of the power that they currently hold. The initiations really want to happen in that death ball here for Clutch Gaming. They got the Sona ultimate followed up with that Rumble ultimate. There's a lot that happens in one spot. A split up CLG does not do Clutch any good.
Yeah, CLG, we're looking for a potential collapse from multiple sides, but Clutch just kind of pushes out to one side, and that means both sides of that pincer have to retreat. PowerOfEvil, though, splitting this one out, getting some damage down on the turret, and Damonte trying to battle his way over to this turret to get some wave clear down.
Blue buff Syndra, gotta be careful.
Oh.
Nice dodges out by PowerOfEvil. Skirting around the abilities there of his opponent in mid lane. Here comes Biofrost back onto the map. Got himself a little bit more damage in that Caulfield's and Serrated Dirk, but the Moby Boots have really been his charm this game, getting from lane to lane to help out.
Yep, certainly the case, and they may be getting caught out right here.
The Sona just to the left. They actually go for the Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench can't save himself, and that's going to be the idea for this engage. Stixxay picks it up with 3 assists on the backside.
Yeah, Vulcan just gets dunked there. Wasn't able to get the gray health off whatsoever, and you have to be careful because if you get an execute range from Pyke, you will just get killed straight through
Shielding
that.
not.
Exactly, shielding will not save you. So Vulcan not quick enough on the fingers there, and some really nice CC chain from CLG does get them the kill here one more time. You can see it looked like Cody Sun could have been in some trouble, but you can see Lira warding off PoE on the side. Then the rest of the team groups up the knock-up and all that damage coming through. He just got exploded. And I mean, really, despite the fact that he has a lot of farm, the redemption doesn't make you that tanky, right? He is now working towards what looks to be a lock-in, and that will help him. Look at that damage off PoE.
Oh, it could be enough. He has just a bit of health left. No distortion. He goes back. He knows he is going. Oh, the redemption kill! Oh, Vulcan! Beautiful!
That is hilarious. You love to see redemption kills.
That's the second one this game.
It's gotta be one of the most satisfying feelings as a support, I feel like, getting the kill with that.
It is great.
There you go. Your farming paid off, Vulcan.
It has really paid off. What a buy there. I was thinking as well, redemption first is great, but you have LeBlanc popping people. You almost want to lock it to start that off, but no more questions on that. Seems like you built the right item first. Fantastically done. Biofrost trying to get into the hair here of Vulcan. He's feeling good. He's just going to clear out some more. We'll see this one more time. PowerOfEvil almost gets himself out.
And that's why this matchup between LeBlanc and Syndra is so interesting, because if you're able to actually, he was just cornered. You can't go back into the Syndra either, so it's probably better to just give away the kill to Tahm Kench. But if you can actually dodge the Scatter of the Weak, with your distortions, then you can really win that matchup. If you do not, then that is what it starts to look like, especially neither side has any MR. This is not even, sometimes you'll see people go, Merc Shreds, Banshee's Veil, really defensive in this matchup. But in this case, both these guys are going Blast Cannon.
It's like Ludens Morellos.
Yeah, so that means if you mess up one time, you can get 100-0.
The kind of play I like to see. So we got out of Lux last week or a few weeks ago. It's the best. You got high-tier plays and high-tier mistakes.
Vulcan
Not in a good spot, gets stunned back. That's the stun that kills them. The crowd controls you. What a scat of the week onto Wiggily. Cannot get the flag and drag in. He still wants the Cataclysm. They say the engage is still good for Chronologic Gaming. Nice kill onto Wiggily, but they're gonna get it back onto Vulcan is now. They start to explode from the side of Clutch Gaming. PowerOfEvil's getting cooked out of this fight as the rest of the team is on the bottom near the river. They have to make sure they can get to PowerOfEvil or at least turn the fight back to a reset.
Yeah, and they will be able to look to reset here. But 2 kills going the way of Clutch as they engage onto Vulcan, and Vulcan gets the great health off this time, and a great scatter of the week because PowerOfEvil coming over the wall.
Great choice of the LeBlanc. It's exactly what PowerOfEvil needs to continue to do in down number situation when they have a disadvantage, is go for Cody Sun, go for those squishy champions. And here we'll see how this one panned out.
Yep, Biofrost gets hooked in. They think they can actually burst them out again, but that scatter of the week was sick. Stopping the knockup, and then the equalizer just gets layered across everyone. Wiggily tries to flash out, but cannot create enough distance to actually escape. Yeah. So multiple members getting knocked down there. And in the meantime, CLG sitting on 4 dragons, 3 of them being those air dragons. So they have a tremendous amount of combat's move speed here, especially, when you're looking at someone like Biofrost with the Mobies active. He's going to be ridiculously fast. In his deep water dive right now, he hit almost 700 move speed. Outside of that, obviously, quite a bit slower, but still incredibly fast, sitting up around 500 move speed, just kind of passively walking around the map. So that does allow you to get these picks a lot more quickly than perhaps Clutch would be expecting them. And it does mean that Clutch also has to play more safely in the side lanes because of the threat of that collapse.
I love those moments. You see something that you hardly ever see in the game, and it almost makes you stop playing.
Yeah.
You have no idea how to assess it as it happens, and that's what Biofrost is coming at you 90 miles an hour on this Pyke with, like you said, the Cloud Drakes. He is zooming. We'll see what he can keep doing, but it is Clutch Gaming that's starting to put up a good fight, starting to stall out everything that CLG had put together earlier in this game. And now in 27 minutes, we are back and forth without really an idea of who is going to take the next fight.
Yeah, and the question is just, can this composition from Clutch really stand up to kind of the late game of CLG as they get closer and closer towards that? Sivir is now on 3 items. Is Cody Sun going to be able to really get out the same levels of damage as he would on a marksman? We know he's incredibly adept at that late game team fight when he is playing a marksman, but this is something new for him. And it's kind of a composition that you're not going to have a tremendous amount of practice on usually because it's so atypical. Having the Graves, which we don't really see a lot, as well as Cody Sun playing more of a mage in that bot lane, will be interesting to see if they can really execute. Because I do think they have the potential to win the team fights based on comp, but execution is always another story, and one misstep from a Sona, you're so squishy you just die.
Yeah, we've been seeing PowerOfEvil try to find Cody Sun even through 3 or 4 members if he can weave a chain in just to get that kill. The last fight we saw in mid lane, we did kind of see it play out that Wiggily set down an area for Huni to ultimate. Nobody in CLG could really approach that area, which is why they had to disperse from Wigglily's position. It becomes very difficult when you put yourself on that equalizer. So maybe a different way to approach. What would you think would be that way? Maybe onto Huni or onto somebody that you can just be immediately off of?
Yeah, I mean, I think that CLG want to try to look for a push and try to catch people out on the side lanes as much as they can, but I also think they're a little bit nervous of the potential collapse from a Tahm Kench, so that does make it more difficult. Clutch is just kind of death-falling right now, but the side lanes are going to be pushing a little bit against them. Ruin heading down to that side lane again, but Clutch is saying, all right, come to us. We're going to actually go to this Mountain Dragon and try to force their hand.
Top lane starting to stall out for that push as it meets Clutch Gaming's wave about halfway up. Cody Sun taking quite a bit of damage. Great hit on that backline. Ruin now trying to get himself to safety and a reset just a little bit so CLG can go back in. Nobody can really be in that redemption for Clutch Gaming, so they're back into the fight now on the side of CLG. Tempting the amount of health they have as CLG goes in and out and almost goes down. Stixxay low as well as PowerOfEvil goes back and forth. I don't think anybody wants to initiate fully here. They're just giving time to Ruin on the side of CLG.
Yeah, I mean, Huni doesn't have his equalizer anymore. A bit of a whiff from him in that earlier team fight. Cody Sun is also almost out of mana, so that is actually a really big deal here. He's getting low, and I think as a result, CLG may want to try to take this fight. Ruin's flanking around. He can look to poke.
Oh, Ruin with a beautiful shock blast onto 3. Was able to use the Scryer's Bloom to get a little bit more information on that situation. 7-6 here. Game's about even. Another Drake. No, it's not in favor of CLG. First Drake picked up by Clutch. CLG does not like that. Full force onto the side of Clutch, but they are going to turn one around for themselves. No, a double kill for Biofrost as he comes up huge and picks up that cash for his team.
Yeah, Biofrost getting a double kill there, and the Baron is alive. Lira is dead. This should mean Baron for CLG as Clutch get punished so heavily going for that dragon.
What a game of cat and mouse, and to see Ruin on the side the whole time, you have to give a thumbs up to CLG and how they danced that one out. Like you said, pulling out Huni's ultimate and just being able to get everything they want. Minus the Drake, but Baron's on the menu now.
Yeah, they lose the dragon, but you do not care about that. When you got 2 Pyke kills, and effectively doubling the gold value from those kills. And it was a great smite here from Ruin, but they can't get out. Shock Blast gets them low, and then PowerOfEvil over the wall. Look at that chain. Whew, goes the distance over the wall. Biofrost has already gotten 1x2, had the reset, and is just there waiting to get that second kill onto Huni. And now CLG, who already would love to 1-3-1 and kind of play that sort of side lane game, are going to be really, really in a great position to do it. They have Baron buff enabled for their whole squad. They have this triple Cloud Dragon, which is going to allow them to play around those side lanes kind of much more aggressively as well.
I think that's the big word, is the aggressiveness that they're playing with. Biofrost not afraid to go in on these fights, as well as Wiggily. He's chosen a little bit safer now as he goes in, knowing what he has to deal with on the side of Clutch Gaming. But everybody in CLG has been behind each other with these engages, or completely on the same page for not fighting in a situation, but tempting from every side of the fight. And that becomes hard one step out, and that entire plan is ruined.
And you can see PowerOfEvil up there in that top lane is pushing this up. Ruin did shove bot lane, but gave Huni enough time, and it's actually reset that wave. So CLG, I think, is wasting a little bit of their Baron time. They had Ruin go down bot lane, they allow Huni to fix that wave, then they push up mid lane, but then they leave that, so that wave gets fixed as well. So really the only place they have any pressure is on that top lane right now, but that is dangerous to go forward for PowerOfEvil because you don't have pressure anywhere else on the map. So CLG really need to get these waves moving at the same type of clip, but they just honestly seem afraid to actually walk up towards the turrets. I think they're potentially scared of any sort of Tahm Kench ult coming in behind them, so they're trying to get all the vision cleared out here first, but it is meaning they're really getting nothing done with the Baron thus far.
I think when you measure the pressure in a game like this where it's so even and you grab a Baron, it ranks higher towards, oh, okay, all right, cool. Instead of, yeah, let's get it, keep going, because you feel like you've just accomplished such a goal, right? Gotten over that mountain, and now you take a break instead of climb the next mountain in front of you right away.
But, the longer you give your opponents to kind of hang around in the game, the more chances they will get to come back in.
Yeah.
But, you see PowerOfEvil here over on the side was looking, and now they have 3 men down on the bottom lane. Will be able to push Huni off that turret, so going to be able to grab their first turret with that Baron buff. PowerOfEvil showing up, so now they have the waves kind of coming in more synchronized, and they will be able to get this Baron buff going in the mid lane. PowerOfEvil still in top lane, and Ruin shoving out here in the bottom. This is going to become tough to defend.
That last golden minute of Baron, how will they use it? They were plotting the whole time. They got the waves in position now. They were organizing all the way up, but it definitely means that Clutch Gaming can defend a little bit better in these choke points of their bases. CLG steps up to the stairs. Top turret's very low already. Mid getting hit up. And bottom taking a bit of damage here from Ruin, as he has just been a one-man RB, absorbing a lot of what Clutch has done, but also helping his lane alone do what it needs to do in the game still.
PowerOfEvil got sent back to base by Damonte's ult, but he just TP'd straight back in while Damonte was getting mana, so this turret should be going down, and they're going to engage in mid lane.
PowerOfEvil takes down the left turret. Stixxay gets to a safe spot as Redemption comes down. Safety under the turret. Safety and numbers. Clutch is looking for the buddy system right now, and Huni needs a few more on the bot side. Two's a crowd at this point for CLG, as powerful as they are. And mid inhibitor is the only, or mid turret is the only one to fall that is left in front of these inhibitors. Nice try by Biofrost to go in for the stun. Vulcan's going to take a little bit of damage there, but it's Cody Sun almost out of mana from just blasting out the utility to his team. Equalizer down on the bot side. They are picking and pulling all of these abilities out of Clutch to make the fight that much easier. Once they get into the base, once they trigger that final play, all the ultimates are up on the side of CLG as they look Clutch dead in the eyes.
Yeah, they are trying to close this one out, and Clutch had that one desperation engage in the mid lane trying to get something done, and it looked like Stixxay just straight up spell shielded the Sona ultimate, so being able to react to that meant there was no follow-up available for Clutch. They could not take them down, and once CLG got their Baron waves organized, once they had them all crashing at the same time, the inhibitor turrets started to fall very quickly. They've already taken down 2 out of the 3, and CLG is really one fight away from winning this game.
It'll be Elder next as well. We're coming up on 35 minutes here. You see Elder's timer on the left, Baron just 1 minute and 20 out. It's going to be very scary for Clutch to leave their base, but they have to put that name into action. Everything from here on out has to be Clutch, has to be the right play. They are facing a very strong and confident CLG here.
And I mean, if you take a look now at the bot lane, despite the fact that the laning phase went great for these guys, if you swap over to the gold, you'll see an enormous gold advantage actually on Stixxay. You know, he's sitting hundreds of CS ahead, but he's actually over 7,000 gold ahead of Cody Sun right now. In just in that individual matchup there, you know, Sivir farming it out so incredibly well in these later stages, and you can see almost full 6 items, right? So this is a monstrously strong Stixxay that was quietly farming and farming and farming. You know, now sitting at 35 minutes, almost, well, 450 CS. Like, that's ridiculous.
Biofrost leaves lane. Stixxay plays while he's at home alone. It becomes quite big here. That CS is crazy. He's about to put that power down to the members of Clutch Gaming. Watching where Stixxay is on that right side. He's by Wiggily. Wiggly's going to get that initiation if he does want to go, but they're more so waiting for that Rumble Equalizer that just came flying out to kill some minions. Huni going to be waiting on that for come back up. Inhibitor goes down as all 3 have fallen. 2.5 minutes on the quickest one to come up, but it's not going to matter. The Nexus turrets are open, and they're just waiting on the minions to join the party.
Yeah, they're picking into the Baron, though, now. CLG wants to make no mistake, trying to take this as safe as possible, heading back to this Baron. They already have the 5 dragons. This Baron seems uncontestable here for Clutch, and that should really, with 3 inhibs down, you have 2 supers spawning per wave. You just have to take the Baron buff and march it down and actually stop them. PowerOfEvil is going to be behind Clutch here, though. This is their final chance.
Baron's there, does not get taken down. The smite was there for Lira as well as he threw it in, but Wiggly's still able to grab it up. Vulcan's going to take Cody Sun and keep him safe. Ruin's looking for that. And oh my god, the damage onto Lira from Ruin with the Muramana. He's going for the tier, Jayce, and he is making Clutch cry at this point. 9K in the lead, and CLG is going to be heading down the mid lane now with Baron. Huni's trying to make his way out to the left side. Everybody's got to disperse just to get back home, and it's not going to work. They find him in the side brush, and Stixxay picks up another kill for himself.
And that should do it, Riv. CLG looking to close this one up and tie themselves up at first place.
Absolutely crazy. What a split for so many teams. Having great records at 5-3 and 4-4, but it's who can squeak it out in the end, and you're going to find CLG bringing themselves to the top of the table once again. It's been a while, but history is going to start repeating itself for the boys in blue. The Nexus is going down, and CLG takes down Clutch Gaming.
Another strong performance here turned in by CLG.